introduction to animal science. So last week, the last lecture video, we discussed about the we discussed already about domestication. Okay? We discussed about the animal history, then animal domestication, the definition, and the different facts about animal domestication. Now, uh, going to discuss about the timeline for when was the different animals domesticated. So, ang panahon, ang timeline kung kano sa na-domesticate ang mga specific na animals. Okay? So, before that, I have here terms that should be defined. Okay? So, we were talking about last week about domestication. So, here are some words synonymous to domestication and being used in animal domestication. So, I have here wild animal. Wild animal is are animals not genetically altered by artificial selection for use by humans. So wild animal, wala gini siya interaction with humans. Okay? Wala sila natong ipugos o breed, no? Wala na to sila gipugos kaon. So these are wild animals. Kanang kung sila pa mga lasang na hayop. Okay? So those are wild animals. Next is tame wild animal. So tame wild animal, a wild animal that through intervention of man has adapted behavioral characteristics so as to be useful to humans. So kaning tame wild animal, mga wild animals ni nga uh, nakuha in the wild environment sa mga tao para atong pahimuslan sila because ganahan ta sa ilaang mga characteristics, no? So we called it tame wild animal. Next is domestic animal, an animal that has been genetically altered from the original wild species for use by humans through artificial selection. So domestic animal na gani kato na ning mga animals nga kita mismo ang nag-breed. Okay? Kita mismo mo nag-select sa mga characteristics na gusto natong i-gamiton, which is kana mga genetic traits na gusto natong gamiton nya atong gi-select, those are domestic animals na. Okay? Feral animal, a domestic animal that lives in the wild with no human assistant. Pasabot, domestic animal naman siya, di ba? Na-domesticate na siya, nahatagan na siya attention sa human. Nya ato silang gipabuhian dito sa wild, gipasagdaan nato sila. Those are feral animal. Ato silang gibutang dito sa wild, okay? Without no assistance nato. Okay? From naay assistance, atong gibuhian nga wala na assistance. That's what we call feral animal. Okay? So now let's move to the timeline for the domestication of different animals. Okay, so I have here different animals. No, then I have here a table. Uh, I will not discuss each one of them, but you have to call this read on your own kung sa kaini. Okay, I have here sample animals. The sheep is has been domesticated 11 to 15,000 years ago in the mountains of Southeast Europe and Central Southwest Asia. They are domesticated because they are favorable because of their wool and meat for which they are still used and bred today. So, gidomesticate ang sheep agi sa ilang wool and sa ilang karne. Because of selective breeding for traits and other results of domestication, sheep are the only species of livestock that would be unable to return to the wild. Okay, so Na domesticate na nato sila nya atong pabalikon sa wild. They are the most unlikely animal nga would be successful in returning to the wild. Next, cattle, mga baka. They have been domesticated 10,000 to 15 years ago. Domesticated near boundary of Europe and Asia or Southwest Asia. This area includes the countries of Russia, Turkey, Ukraine, Syria, Moldavia, Turkmenistan, Iraq, and Iran. So those are the places that the cattle has been domesticated. In the beginning, cattle were used mainly for meat, milk, and labor, but eventually were replaced by horse in most of the draft work. So kung ang baka sa una gigamit gidomesticate nila for labor, for trabaho, pagkadugayan, gilisan na sila. Okay? Gilisan sila og kabayo para sa draft work. Okay, sa horse. Horse domesticated approximately 5,000 years ago. Horses were domesticated in Eastern Europe and Western Asia. This area includes the countries of Mongolia and Siberia. Originally, horses were used for milk, but eventually became useful as pack and draft animals. So sa una di ay, ang kabayo, ila pang gigamit na sila as meat. Yan, gigatasan pa nila. Okay? Pero eventually, gigamit ra sila as draft animals. Okay? Nang patrabaho. Okay? For transportation, for labor, for carrying heavy things. Gigamit na mga kabayo karon. Actually, kanang sa meat, na maghapon karon. Sa una, sa estudyante pa ko, sa Dumaguete, naadyo sa kakarinderya dito nga akong suki, balik-balikan to namo sa akong mga classmate. It's because naa sila putahe dito kabayo. Diyan. No? Uh, kanang moadto mi dito, usually kanang Thursday, Friday, kay Wednesday man ang sagaran mag-ihaw sila kabayo dito sa Sambuguita gikan. So muna panahon nga naa jud nay karning kabayo. So which is very good. Lami siya kanon good. Mayo pud pagkaluto. So mo na here marag na pud ko sa Bohol pero sa Eldam sad kayo na sila. Okay? So pigs also were domesticated 5,000 to 9,000 years ago. Pigs were first domesticated in the Middle East, in countries such as Syria, Iraq, and Turkey, and then spread across Asia, Europe, and Africa. Pigs were utilized more in settled farming communities than in nomadic groups because they are difficult to move for long distances. Kung pasabot, gigamit ang mga baboy para sa mga gibuhi ang mga baboy, gidomesticate ang mga baboy. Kana na sa mga settled communities. Kung pasabot kanang community nga nana nang iriyaha jud nga wa nay plano nga magsibat-sibat, no? Kay ngano di man pwede ang mga baboy nga ibiyahe og lagyo sa unang panahon kay di ba ang mga settlers are always moving, no? They transfer from one area, one place to another, nga na man ang mga community sa una. Pero lisod man ibiyahe ang mga baboy, no? Kay lakaw bugat nga kay kargahanan nga tarong sa una. So ang pigs gidomesticate lang siya sa mga sa mga communities nga settled na, nga pundo na lang gid siya. Okay? So chickens are domesticated 6,000 to 7,000 BC in Western Asia. Chickens were known in China more than 3,400 years ago and also in Southeast Asia. China, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines. Okay, so the goat was among the earliest animals to be domesticated around 6,000 to 7,000 BC. And the goat could easily revert to its wild state. So once it is domesticated, kung dili siya ma-handle sige og mga tao, dali po siya wild mobalik sa iyang wild state, no? Pareho na itong mga buhing kabayo. Mga kanding wa na to matiman kayo, di ba? Idlas na kayo, inigdulo na to, no? Idlas kayo, hindi na ito mabalhin sige, idlas na sila. Okay, so yan na mga kabayo. So I have here illustration of a sample time frame of domestication based on archaeology. Okay, so based na siya sa nakita nga mga bukog sa una. Okay, so cow and goat and dog, then goat, then cow, cat. Ngayon ana, in between there is sheep, pig. So muna siya murag time frame, no? So you can uh, look at this one further. Okay. And here I have a domestication table in which a certain column is on the different animals. The middle column is where it is domesticated, then the date of domestication. So that's from the earliest to the latest. Okay. So I want you to just read this one. I will not read this individually. Okay. You just read this one. Check so that you will know. I will give you the time to read this one. Okay. So that would be for this lecture video about the domestication and the time frame for domestication. Expect a certain activity for this one uh, that would be submitted within this week also. Okay, so please do watch my videos because according to the analytics on my YouTube channel, your average watch time for my lecture video is only about 1 minute, no? So ako mga lecture video nasa 10 minutes pataas. So wa ninyo na gibo pasabot, wa ninyo gihuman ang ako ang lecture video ug lantaw, no? Which is very wrong and sakit po sa ko ang part because I made an effort in doing this lecture video. In fact, sa grupo na mo dire, gamay raming nga maghago gama og lecture video. Okay? So make sure you read the lecture or you watch the lecture video from the start to the beginning. Okay? So just message me for questions, then clarification. Okay? So thank you and be kind to animals.